22nd Sunday in Ordinary Time Reflection. Theme is humility. My dear friends, last 2 Sundays, if you can remember, God said, I have come to set fire. It speaks about pain. And same thing is built on pain. Last Sunday, try to enter through the narrow gate. So if you want to be humble, that's against pride, isn't it? Pride means inflated mind. Now, take this balloon. Now, pride is something like this. No weight, it will go up without any weight. So it's inflated. Kind of swollen. So imagine if your body part is swollen, there's something wrong with that. So seemingly very nice, but then the remedy for pride is a thorn. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 7 it is said, thorn in the flesh because of my pride, kind of spiritual pride St. Paul speaks about. Think about your life, my dear friends. If you think that you are humble, that is a very subtle way of pride has crept into your life. Now today the gospel, first reading, speaks about that pride. Sirach chapter 3 verse 17 and onwards. My son, perform your tasks in meekness. Then you will be loved by those whom God accepts. In meekness. And then he said, the greater you are, the more you must humble yourself. My dear friends, if you are full of yourself, you will lower yourself, isn't it? Jesus never had a problem with his pride. And he washed the feet of the disciples. Those who are going to betray him, leave him and run away. Because in Jordan, he heard the voice of the Father saying, you are my beloved Son. I'm very pleased of you. So his inside was full. So he does not want any position in the world because he's full. So once you're full, you're heavy, isn't it? So lowering yourself because you're heavy is a fantastic experience. That's exactly why the Lord is saying, do not, now when you are invited to a place, when you are invited by someone to a wedding feast, do not sit down in a place of honor. So because he saw some people at the house of the rulers of Pharisees. He saw some people were looking for higher places. Because why you want to look for a higher place? Because you are empty within. Now imagine, my dear friends, now all throughout this week, he blamed all the Pharisees, find fault with them, and said, now Jesus on Sabbath day went to dine at the house of a ruler of a Pharisee. Now he's going there. What a humble step, isn't it? He doesn't have any problem, because he's full of God's love. Now think about your pride, my dear friends. Now the Lord is saying, the greater you are, the more you must be humble yourself. The affliction of the proud has no healing, for plant of weakness has taken root in him. So wickedness has rooted in him. So same book, Sirach chapter 10, beautifully speaks of this pride. 7 verse 7. Arrogance is hateful before the Lord and before men. Who loves a proud person? That pride can destroy all the relationships. How can he who is dust and ashes be proud? For even in life, his bowels decay. When he was living, he decays. And we are made of dust, isn't it? My dear friends, there's a beautiful connection when it comes to word humility. Humility in Latin is humilitas. The adjective is humilitas, which means humble, of course, and also it means taken from the ground. Now the word human also stems from the word humilitas, which is taken from the ground. So in Genesis chapter 3:19, The man was created out of dust, he will turn into dust. So human is dust. Humility and human, these are so connected, interconnected. A man should be like dust, humble to realize your exact state, my dear friends. So that's exactly how he who can be dust and ashes be proud. When a man is dead, he will inherit creeping things and wild beasts and worms. That's reality. For the beginning, for the beginning of pride is sin, and the man who clings to its powers and out of ambitions. And the reason for his pride, my dear friends, is when he goes away from the Lord. A long illness baffles a physician. The king of today will die tomorrow. For when a man is dead, the beginning of man's pride is to depart from the Lord. His heart has forsaken his maker. That is the reason. And today the gospel, the Lord is asking, do not look for higher places. I mean, why you look for it? Because you are empty within. Just go and sit in a lower place. Not because you need to be raised up. No. Think about Adam and Jesus. Adam, he wanted to be raised up. He wanted to be like another God. That's how Adam and Eve ate from the forbidden tree. They wanted to be a God. And look at Jesus in Philippians chapter 2, verse 6 onwards. He lowered himself and he was obedient unto cross. And when he was lowered, God raised him. That is the reason. God humbled himself in the person of Jesus. And second reading beautifully speaks about Mount Zion. And on the mount where the 10 commandments were given, Mount Sinai, they could not, the blazing fire and darkness of the gloom, of darkness and gloom, and the tempest and the sounds of trumpet, the voice of the words made, and they could not hear the voice of the Lord. But you have come to Mount Zion, a city of living God, heavenly Jerusalem, where Jesus lowered himself and paid the ransom and opened the gates of heaven. So we can be in that presence of the Lord because God has humbled himself. So we are called to be humble. Humility should be our motive because pride is the greatest vice of all the vices. It is very dangerous. It blinds you. It completely blinds you. You always try to find the fault of the other person. So all the Sadducees, scribes, Pharisees, and they were watching him carefully, watching Jesus to find a loophole, find a mistake, because they wanted to kill him. They never saw themselves, how they became the whitewashed tombs. Their inside was festering, and they are covering up it so much. And they wanted to cover themselves up with pride, and they thought only they are right, all the others are wrong. So that's a sign of the dangerous pride in your life. So it's an invitation, my dear friends. It's an invitation to always lower yourself. Lowering is not putting yourself down, no. Falling cheap, no. I mean, realize, exact yourself before the Lord. Everything you have because of him. Always be grateful, thankful to him. Say thank you for everything. And whatever you have, you remember that this is given. My giver, Lord, is more important than what I have gotten. And that's exactly how you should deal with your life, with humility. Always consider other person is better than me. You will enjoy that life. Sit in the lowest place and enjoy that. You will experience the inner voice saying, you are my beloved son and beloved daughter. Enjoy that presence in humility. Amen. May God bless you.